are listening to BL in the Air. My name is Shai.
And I'm Alex.
And today we are continuing our discussion from last week on ABO Desire. So last week we covered the first half of the show, which was episodes 1 through 8. And now we are picking back up at episode 9. And we're going to get into the juicy bits, to the mpreg of it all. So stick around if you want to hear us talk about that. But before we get into it, Alex, what's in the air with you today?
Okay, so I haven't really watched or listened to anything BL because I've been watching Let's Plays. And we planned a trip to Thailand.
Yay! Yeah, we can have a combined what's in the air because we're very excited.
Yes. I don't know. Do we want to say when we're going or do we want to?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. So we're going for Songkran, which I'm really excited about.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I tell somebody that that's what I'm going for, I then have to explain what it is.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, listen, water gun fight. Get into it.
So it's Thai New Year. So there's more to it than that, but we're here for the water fight.
Mm-hmm. I'm very excited for that part specifically.
Yeah, so we will be in Chiang Mai and in Bangkok. So gonna double dip there and explore. See what else we get up to.
Yeah, we've got our hotels and flights booked. And so, yeah, it feels like real now.
Yeah. Yeah, the countdown's getting close. And I'm like, my brain is already like, I should put the suitcase out and start packing, but we're not that close.
No, yeah, we got a bit for sure. But I bought some swimsuits. I'm just like so excited to be in the sun. That's like, as long as it's warm, I'll be happy.
Yeah, it's been a little cold by you. You didn't get any snow from the Northeast blizzard, right? You guys are too far west.
No, we are safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a friend in Delaware who got incredible amounts of snow yesterday.
Yeah, I saw it looked like kind of crazy. Usually for us, we don't get that much snow because it's usually too cold to snow.
That's fair.
So like we get a good amount, but we don't usually get as much as the East Coast. Just because it has to be above like, I don't know, 15, 20 degrees to snow, and it's never above that for us. So we don't get as much snow as people think, but yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm kind of done driving in the snow this year. I'm like sick of it.
Yeah, I would be too.
Although looking at the forecast, looks like we're getting some this weekend. So we'll see if it amount. They told us the other day, they were like, you might get like 6 inches. And then we got nothing, but like up north where my grandparents live, they got like a good amount. So kind of depends. But 6 inches.
That's hilarious. So this weekend,
Whatever.
Sunday, the high is 73 here.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's spring part 2.
That's like summer.
Yeah, we had spring like a week ago, and it nearly killed me. And so now
allergies.
Yeah, and now we had winter part like 3, and now we're on spring part 2.
Yeah, we always have a couple false springs. Like it was like 50 degrees for a couple days, which was like crazy. Everyone was in like shorts and t-shirts, and like me included. I was like sitting in the sun. And I had to come in because I was getting too hot.
That's hilarious.
But that was our false spring number 1, and we usually have a couple false springs until sometimes we don't even get spring. It just goes winter to summer. It's just like it changes so fast. So
yeah, at 50 I'm still in a jacket, but also like 30 is cold for me. So
well, yeah, it's really what you're coming from.
Yeah,
like when we go from summer to fall and it drops to 50, like same, but when you're going from like negative 50 to 50, it's like, oh,
dying of
get
heat.
The pool out, like. So I get it.
But Thailand's gonna be hot regardless, because I've been watching the weather just because to get a feel, and like it was a cold day in Chiang Mai today. Their high was like 73 or something like that.
Damn, yeah, I probably will melt, but it's okay. I plan to just like swim, and also we're probably gonna go to like the GMM building.
Of course.
And Yeah, I don't know. I guess if you have any recommendations of like must do things there, like I think we're gonna do all the big touristy stuff like the temples and
Mm-hmm.
whatnot. But yeah, if there's any like hidden gems, let us know.
Yeah, definitely. I made a list of like all the restaurants and stuff owned by the BL
Mm,
actors. You're like,
yeah.
if we're hungry, we can go to these or we can go to something local, like whatever nearby. But
My plan is to eat as much food as humanly possible.
oh, for sure. We'll be walking enough. We'll be burning off the calories. We're gonna need to eat more.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll be swimming is very exhausting, so
It's my favorite
that'd be strength.
exercise.
Yeah, I love swimming.
Yeah, growing up, my next door neighbors had
So
in-ground pool, and I like lived in it more than they did.
I'm so jealous. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
very in-ground pools are so rare here, but we have like a lot of lakes.
yeah,
But it's like some of them I'm like I don't really want to swim in, so
yeah. At -50, do you guys like have to drain your in-ground pools, or do you just let them turn into ice cubes?
I honestly don't know anyone
Yeah,
in that tax bracket to ask, so
that's fair.
I have no idea. I think they must drain it.
Yeah, because I feel like
They have
to
to.
freeze, like the way it, like expands and whatever, like it would break the pool.
Yeah, I would think you'd have to drain it.
Yeah.
But
Oh, that's so expensive.
I don't know anyone with that type of money who has
Yeah.
one, so
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what our like public pools do.
They drain them.
They drain it.
Okay,
Yeah,
that
they
makes
drain it at
sense.
the end of the season, so I think everyone probably has to do that.
Yeah, because we down south we don't have to drain our pools. We just leave them year round. You just kind of vaguely maintain the chemical balance over the winter, just enough to
Mhm.
like not destroy like your liner or whatever with algae, and then you just shock the hell out of it again in spring to get it ready.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Oh,
Mm.
but yeah, you ready to talk mpreg?
I'm always ready to talk mpreg.
That makes one of us.
Yeah,
I will say
this last half of the show is like it gets kind of crazy.
it does, and I wish the last episode was more.
Yeah, the last episode, I mean, we'll talk about it when we
Yeah.
get there, but like, damn, they really packed like 5 episodes into the last 10 minutes. Like, I don't know why they speed ran it so much. Like, I assume they figured that maybe they weren't going to get a second season just because of like, how probably difficult it was to get the show to even air in the first place, but I don't know why they didn't like account for that in the initial pacing. I don't know what happened. So it's a kind of a wild ride.
Yeah, I don't know what happened either. I know a lot of people were mad about it when it was airing, myself
Yeah.
included.
Oh,
Very mad.
yeah. I mean, as someone who wasn't watching it but like kept up with people talking about it, I just remember everyone being so angry by the end.
Yeah.
So,
Like most of it's fine. Just we'll get there. But like
yeah, we'll get there.
they needed at least another half hour. If they'd have made the last episode an hour and a half instead of 50 minutes, I think we would have gotten enough closure to where people would have been at least less mad.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, should we pick
So-
back up episode 9?
Yes. Let me scroll here.
Okay.
Okay. Episode 9. I guess episode 8, we ended with the X Holdings having like the drug trials and being ready for that with their like whatever disorder drug thing they have. Basically whatever's wrong with Xiaoyo's dad.
Yeah. It's like
And-
the gland cancer, whatever.
Something, yeah. And we left off with Xiaoyo calling Hua Young's secretary, because he still doesn't realize it's X Holdings, is his boyfriend,
Mhm.
calling and begging as a son and not a competitor, basically, for help for his dad. This is where we left off episode 8. So episode 9, the secretary, who I never bothered to learn his name. He's cute though.
I mean, either. Yeah, he is.
The secretary's like, I can't actually make that call because I'm secretary, right? But also we handed over control of the project to Wenlong, um, and it's in his hands to decide what happens with it now. Which, are you fucking kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
Hwa Young's such an asshole. Like, why would you do that?
Yeah. He loves to like torture people for his amusement, and I love that about him.
Right? Even people that he supposedly loves, sure.
Yeah.
Um, so of course Xiaoyo talks to Wenlong, and Wenlong's like, "Hey, if you give me Huayong for a night, you can have the drug, right?" And again, Xiaoyo has like an issue with sleeping with somebody who's like other people have slept with, right? Especially being Wenlong, like no. So Xiaoyo's like, "No, we're not doing that."
Again, I love Wenlong and Hua I love their just mutual torture of Xiaoyao for just no reason other than it just amuses both of them. Like it cracks me up how he's like they're like in on it together and like Xiaoyao just doesn't get that.
Yeah. Like Xiaoyo like sees that their relationship isn't normal, but he's like, I don't know what to do with this, so I'm gonna just ignore it.
Yeah, basically.
Because as far as he knows, Hua Young is just Wenlong's secretary, right? Part of the secretary
Mm-hmm.
staff. So like he's treated as an equal when he shouldn't be.
Yeah. He doesn't
And
question it really.
no, I think he's just
He's
like
blinded by love.
I think he's just like I don't even want to try to decipher Wenlong, so I'm just gonna leave that in a corner.
Yeah.
But Xiaoyo does get a tip though that the X Holdings CEO is going to be at this banquet this night, whatever. Um, so like he's like, cool, I guess I'm gonna go to the banquet. And then in the meantime, Xiao Qing, who is Xiaoyo's brother, sends men to kidnap Huayong. Um, great plan, bud. Good
Great.
luck with
Yeah.
that. Xiao Qing makes a lot of really dumb decisions this entire show.
Yeah. I don't really understand Xiao Cheng's like he's just so stupid. It's like hard to like understand where he's coming from half the time.
I think the main thing is he's salty that he doesn't have any power in the family because Xiaoyo controls everything, but like Xiaoyo is again the only like quote unquote legitimate son in the family. And that's why
Mm-hmm.
he got all the control. Um,
Yeah, I get that, but also it's like if you just weren't so stupid, it might help your
right.
case a bit.
Right? Cuz like technically he still works for their company. So it's not like
Yeah.
Xiaoyo's like cut him off completely, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
the whole thing with the library whatever was Xiao Qing's fuck up. So
Yeah.
right. He just wants money and to be comfortable and to not have to do anything for it, which same, but like also I'm
Yeah.
not doing this bullshit.
Me too. Yeah. It's like a little extreme.
Yeah. So, in the meantime, Hua Young's rut came early, so he's hiding in the hotel room again. Which I think is the same hotel that this banquet is at. I think it all happens to be at the same place. Um,
Yeah. Everyone does seem to be meeting up there for one reason or another.
yeah. And then
It must be like the X Holdings Hotel,
yeah, something like
I
that.
believe. Because I think later on they're like, I think it's their hotel.
Yeah, I think so too. Um, so he's holed up in this hotel room, and Xiao Qing's men show up to kidnap him, but he's like releasing all the pheromones, so that doesn't go well for them, and they basically just leave. I think they collapse and then leave.
Yes.
Never mind, we're gonna not do this.
Well,
Um,
we'll kidnap him a different day.
yeah. And then meantime, downstairs at the banquet, Wen Long is there, right? And he's just there to antagonize Xiaoyo, basically, about Huayang. He's like, all you gotta do is give him to me for a night and you can have the drugs for your dad, whatever. And so, of course, they're in public and they're releasing their pheromones as they do because they're having a pissing match. Um,
Yes, that's literally what it is.
and Gaoto is off on the side yet again, the only one truly suffering from this. This poor man.
Yep.
His whole character arc is just suffering. just existing
It
and
is.
suffering.
I wish he would like be able to do more other than just like take shit from these guys like without them even
Yeah,
noticing.
yeah. But he's got to hide that he's an Omega. And Wenlong, I think, pays really well and, whatever, and is flexible enough with him and his sister. And so, like, I get why he stays and why he's dealing with it, but just, like, my
Mm-hmm.
guy.
I know.
I feel so
It's
bad.
not gonna end as well this time.
Yeah. So, at least Wenlong does notice that Gaoto is, like, doubled over, even though he's a dumb. Wenlong is the biggest dumbass. I love him.
He is. I love it. It's just like it's the asthma. The pheromones are triggering the asthma again.
Right? Not that every time pheromones are released, he's having an omega reaction to it. But to be
Yeah,
fair,
he's having an asthmatic reaction.
right? To be fair, if I've known somebody for 10 years and I thought they were a beta, and then they just started, like, I'd like to see if he showed signs of being an omega before all this bullshit outside of the smell, which I think only escalated kind of recently anyway as the disorder got worse. So,
That's what I'm thinking too. Is he probably was able to hide it better as he like
yeah.
continuously suppressed, and then once that started like not working, that's when all these problems started happening.
Yeah.
So I get it too. I wouldn't like I wouldn't suspect it at first
No.
either. But like, come on, man, it keeps happening like
Yeah.
over and over.
There's a point.
Mm-hmm.
So, but Wenlong does notice that Gaoto's having a reaction, so he does de-escalate the situation. So at least he has that much of a sense. But he immediately
Mm-hmm.
starts questioning Gaoto on like why he's so affected by the pheromones as a beta. And then Wenlong's like, "Do you like Xiaoyao?" Like, Wenlong, what are you doing?
Yeah,
What gave you that idea?
he's always coming to a conclusion, and it's just never the right conclusion.
It's it's so funny because it's like Gaoto shows any sign of concern for like Huayang, and he's like, "Do you like him?" And it's like, "What?" Like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Gaoto does go into heat again though, because of course he does. So he goes and like hides in like a room. Um and, like some random guests help him into the room because I see him like struggling because he's also giving off his like omega pheromones in the process, and everyone's like, "Oh."
Mm-hmm.
And a little bit like after that, Shoyo hears some guests talking about it, and they think that he thinks that they're talking about Huayang because he also only has one track brain. Um, can
Yeah,
think
I
of
will say 99% of lore in this show is dropped by like staff
yes,
gossiping to each other. They're like, and it's so funny because it's like so out of place. They're like, "Did you see that Omega? Like, that's so dangerous. Did you know that if an alpha who was 95% compatible saw him, there he wouldn't be able to control himself?" And it's like, and they're just like, I'm like, I love that. Just this is not the way anyone would ever talk, but
no.
like, it is. It is getting the points across, but it's always the staff. It's always like the female workers at the office or like the hotel like maids, or I think this time it might just be two guests, but
It's just too good, but
yeah,
it's
this is
still
how
like
the show gets info to us like every time it needs to.
yeah, it's just letting the NPCs just drop some lore and then move on, never to be seen again.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, Xiaoyo thinks that Huayang is somewhere holed up in heat. Um,
Yes.
um,
Which kind of, but not really.
yeah,
Do you think
that's not who they
their
were talking about.
do you think their heats and ruts sync like periods do?
They do.
Like if they do,
They do.
okay, you know.
It they say it in the show.
Oh, they do. I didn't
They
even
say it
catch
in the
that.
show.
Oh my god.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, I think I made a note of it in like episode 14 in the notes. We'll get there.
Okay. Great. Okay, we'll get there. Good. I
So
that was a
I
burning question I had.
I because I wondered about it too, and then they said it, and I'm like, oh, at least they told us because I mean it
Mm-hmm.
would have to like once because it's from when you mark is when things align, right? When you do
Mm-hmm.
a permanent mark,
Okay.
right? And it's like
Yeah.
okay, that makes sense because like otherwise you guys like if you don't align, then you can't ever go through the process.
Yeah.
So, but also just the amount of sex that they would have every single time, like, good God.
I know. And plus, from my understanding, like, like a lot of like pregnancy happens very easily. And
Hmm.
so I'm like, oh my God, you're gonna have like, it's just gonna be constant.
Yeah, I wonder if they have birth control, right? Like, because
I
we
feel like
have
they
like all kinds of type of birth
must.
control. They have to, because
They have to. They're also men, so definitely they
yeah,
have.
right.
They
Like
have
they're
to.
gonna they're gonna solve that problem real quick. Um,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
but
otherwise I think it would be like really out of control. So.
yeah, because I mean they have so much other medication, right? They have the heat suppressants. They have the whatever. Like they have all the patches. They have the like pheromone patches and
Mm-hmm.
whatever. So like they have to. I'd be surprised if they didn't have some sort of like proper birth control.
Yeah,
Um,
I feel like that we're beyond this, but they don't ever mention it.
no. So the closest we get is condoms.
Yeah. Uh, guess
So
that works to an
yeah,
extent.
yeah, yeah. Um. So yeah. So Xiaoyu is now panicking because he thinks Hua Young is holed up somewhere. And so he goes to
Mm-hmm.
hunt down Hua Young, and Hua Young is like in the penthouse, right? Like he's upstairs. Supposed to be locked up from that, but he has somehow gotten out of his hotel room. Um. So they do end up running into each other, like wherever, and end up also in some random room. And it's dark, so Xiaoyo doesn't know who he's fighting because he's like literally like trying to like get away, and I think he does end up either like punching or slapping Hua Young, who just kind of like takes it, like
Mm-hmm.
sure, but Hua Young is much 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 stronger than Xiaoyo, so it's pretty low effort for him to have like Xiaoyo pinned to the wall, and then they have sex.
Yeah.
This is not consensual at all.
Not at all. No. Also, I was confused watching this because I didn't realize it was supposed to be. Okay. These whole scenes where it's like because they don't both. We'll get to Gaoto, but both of them don't
Yeah.
know who they're sleeping with. And
Yeah.
I'm like, how do you not know? They're like talking to you. It's like also not that dark, but I guess it's supposed to be like really dark, and they're not supposed to recognize the voices or the I don't know pheromones or whatever. So
Yeah, so I think it's technically pitch black for them. It just would be a really
hmm
weird scene for us if it was pitch black.
yeah, exactly.
So,
But I
yeah.
feel like even because even in this scene, Hua Young's like, lift your hips. I need to use it, and I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, but if this like he doesn't have a voice changer on, it's like your boyfriend talking to you. You didn't recognize his voice.
I think he's in a way drugged by the pheromones. So I
Yeah.
think there's that, and then also their pheromones don't make sense for Hua Young, right? Because like
Mm. Yeah, for Hua
it,
Young,
you
he's been using like other scent,
yeah, like it's still
but
his
the
scent, but
voice,
it's
I'm like,
yeah. The only thing I can think is he's kind of drugged to the point where he's not thinking straight, and also
mm-hmm.
at that point, would you really think that Hua is the dominant one when that's not what you know of him? Because he's kind of plays,
I guess,
pitiful little
yeah,
crybaby, whatever. Um,
yeah,
so like,
yeah. I'm just like, I didn't realize he didn't know who it was until like late, like after the scene,
mm,
and I was like, oh, okay, because I was like, oh, he found Hua Young out. I was like, oh no, he didn't,
no,
because he didn't know
yeah,
who it was.
yeah, he has no idea
So,
who just raped him.
yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Poor guy. It's a rough night.
yeah. He honestly takes it fairly well, I will say. Because like Wen Long crashes out after this
Probably,
night, but Xiaoyu is kind of
yeah.
calm.
He also, I mean, if you're an alpha and you're like, I can't get pregnant, I guess that's another reason to
Yeah,
be less worried about it.
yeah, and
But,
I mean I think it fits Xiaoyu's character to be calm about it,
mm,
like and not crash out
Yeah.
completely.
Well, and also just kind of like push it away and down for now because he
Yeah.
has so much else to deal with at the moment. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Compartmentalize,
And
deal
he
with that
also,
later.
yeah, and I don't think he wants to like, I mean, what is he gonna do? Report it? Like, I don't think he wants to look. He
No,
wants
it's
to.
gonna
It's
make,
like he doesn't want to be like embarrassed.
yeah.
So
I mean, it's gonna look real bad on him if he's the big bad A tier alpha or S tier alpha and he was overpowered and then raped, right? So
yeah. Oh,
it's shitty.
Alfred.
It's shitty, right? But
It is. It is. I mean, like the stuff is like, I feel like very common in Omegaverse at least, where like usually like the this stuff happens when like, oh no, we're both in heat or in rut or whatever
hmm
together. But I don't see it a lot. Like this was like kind of violent, and I was like, oh,
yeah.
like I don't know. Like I get. I'm usually okay with like the Omegaverse stuff where it's like, okay, we're trapped in a room together and we're both in heat and like it's just like gonna happen.
Mm,
Where it's like kind of more gray consensual, but this
yeah.
one I was like, damn, like that's fucked up,
Yeah.
dude.
This one was
Like,
something.
this was a rough one.
Yeah.
So
In the meantime, Wen Long
yeah, the meantime, this is what I'm like used to seeing with the Megaverse stuff.
yeah, Wenlong has been looking for Gaotou, right? And he does find him, but he doesn't know it's him, right? Because again, we are in a pitch black room and Gaotou is like hiding in it and he ends up trying to like sneak around Wenlong to get out of the room because he's like knocked something over and broken it or whatever. But again, Gaotou's giving off all of the omega pheromones and they are that 90% compatibility match whatever that the random guests walking by mentioned earlier. And so that like sets Wenlong off in a physical way that he kind of doesn't have control over anything. He
Mm-hmm.
is like full animalistic at this point. So
Mm-hmm.
they go have sex. Just
Yes.
great because Wenlong is like so anti Omega, so like he's not gonna handle this one well.
Yeah, and I like your interpretation of him as like an asexual character to an
hmm
extent because he
Yeah.
isn't interested in this,
hmm
and like obviously now he doesn't really have control of like his actions, but like before this he was just very much like, and after this he's just
He's
not
still not.
interested in
Yeah.
sex and like kind of he's pretty appalled that this even happened.
hmm
So yeah, I thought that
Yeah.
was like a good, like an
Yeah.
interesting read on his character.
Yeah. It's definitely still how I feel about him, even towards the end, because it's one of those if he just kind of
Mm.
that's not his focus on anything. It's rather not have to deal with that.
Yeah.
um so but yeah. And then um it's like the next day, I guess. And Huayong is missing because of course he is.
Of
He's left a
course.
note saying he's exchanging himself for the drugs for Xiaoyo's dad. Because what the fuck?
Why? Like, why? It's so. I guess then it earns him favor because it's like, look at the sacrifice he made for Xiaoyo. But
Right? I mean I guess
it's
it's to
so
make
dramatic.
is I
Like,
maybe to
when
make
you're not doing this, it's crazy.
yeah, I don't know if it's to make Xiaoyo like love him more, right? And make him like
Mm-hmm.
fight for him and whatever and all this.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Xiaoyo cries because, he's gone through something traumatic, right? Because he's been raped.
Uh,
And then the guy he supposedly loves has now traded himself to go sleep with Wen Long, who doesn't even want him, honestly. Um and then just to save
yeah, he's had a
Xiaoyo's
bad
dad,
night.
right? Like not having a good
Mm-hmm.
time at all. So yeah, so Xiaoyo is upset over that, whatever. And then Gao To is missing from work yet again. And Wenlong is
Mm-hmm.
mad about it yet again.
Mm-hmm.
uh so yeah, Wenlong has slept with this Omega he found the other night because of the high compatibility thing, and the Omega would happen being heat and kind of set everything off, right? And so he's also very mad about this,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um and Huayong is there because of course he is. And he's just kind of like antagonizing Wenlong about it. He's like, "Yeah, I have a photo of the mystery Omega." And Wenlong's like,
Yeah.
"Whatever. I don't even want to know. Whatever, right? Like that's where he's at. I don't want to know. Keep that Omega away from me. What the fuck? I don't need an
Yeah, I want
Omega,
nothing to do with any of that ever again.
right?" But Gaoto's sister is doing really well now with whatever is wrong with her. Because I don't know if they even tell us what's ever wrong with her. She's just in the hospital for fucking forever.
Mm-hmm.
But her discharge is gonna come soon, so yay,
Yay, sister.
right?
So, Wenlong visits Gauto at home again because he's missing from work, of course. And he notices the box of suppressant patches, but like it doesn't click in there. It's not clicking.
No, he's mad that the Omega is leaving things at Gauto's place
Yes.
as like a way to like stake their
Yes.
claim. Like,
And it's like his house, of course. It's
right?
not. He's just so jealous.
It's so funny. Please figure your shit out.
Mm-hmm. I know. And he gets mad about Gauto's leave again, and like he's just unpleasant and brings up Hua Young and makes so Gauto brings up Hua Young, and that makes Wenlong even more mad. And Wenlong puts Gauto in charge of finding out who the Omega he slept with was, because he's like, listen, this like Hua Young has a picture, like just figure out who it was. Like I don't want to look at it. I don't want to deal with it. Like that's on you.
Yeah, Gauto very much knows that it was him. By the way,
Yes,
in case
yes.
we didn't
He's
make that
fully
clear.
aware, and he's like, oh fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Great. I don't know how I'm gonna lie about this one, but
Yep.
so and Xiaoyo's dad also got the drugs and they work, which is great. Everyone's getting healthy. Yay.
Yay.
And Wenlong and Huayang, they delivered the drugs in person. And Xiaoyo wasn't going to go until he heard that Huayang was there. So,
That was such a funny moment too, because I don't remember who Xiaoyo was talking to. And he's like, "I'm not a doctor, why would I bother to be there?" And
yeah,
whoever it was like, "Well, Huayang is here." And he like immediately runs to the door.
on my way. Don't have to say that again. I'm already there. Then Xiaoyo tries to take Huayang back, but he refuses to go. To like, he's gonna ensure that like Xiaoyo's dad gets drugs monthly. And so Xiaoyo and Wenlong have a little pheromone standoff again. This is what the third or fourth time.
Something like that.
Yeah, I think maybe the fourth. And like at least Gauto wasn't there to suffer at this time, which is like good. But Xiaoyo is affected this time, which is not supposed to happen. Like he,
Yeah.
he's the alpha too. He's an S-class alpha. That shouldn't happen.
Yep. Wenlong is also S tier, but Xiaoyo is more powerful anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of a shock he's reacting the same way that Gauto would have been if he was there.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Wenlong is so done with Huayang and Xiaoyo and their shenanigans. He's like, it's not even entertaining to me anymore. I just like, you guys just need to go away so I can have some peace. Like, I'm not playing these games. Like, goodbye.
Him constantly being so tired of their shit is one of my favorite things.
Yeah. I honestly I get it too because the Huayang shenanigans are just like they're just so ridiculous, like to an extent.
Yeah.
It's like I can't keep doing this all day every day.
Yeah, being forced to have to help him with this bullshit, like the trading for the drugs. It's like, Hua-Young, it's your fucking drugs. Do what you want with them.
Yeah, I
No.
don't need to be involved at all. I don't know why you keep getting me involved in this shit.
Just admit who you are and give him the fucking drugs.
Yeah. Instead, we're playing like whole game with it, where you're my little escort for the night and for no reason.
Yeah.
Um, and Gaoto tells Wenlong like he can't find the Omega, and Wenlong accuses him of like, are you working with the Omega? Like, did you set this up? Like, because he's like, I don't understand how you couldn't recognize this person. Like, he, again, crazy hoops he's jumping through, but I don't know. He doesn't really know what to think, and he feels betrayed, and there's like a lot happening again. So
He's so
guess,
dramatic.
I don't know. He's so dramatic. He's just very like thick. Like he can't figure out what he's feeling. He can't figure out what anyone else is feeling.
Yeah. I love him though. He's honestly my favorite character.
I love him. He's my favorite too. I love him dearly. But it is funny to see him jump to like every conclusion except the correct one.
Right? That's why I love him and Hwa-young together, because Hwa-young reads the room like no problem, and so he just kind of like fucks with like Wenlong about it constantly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a balanced relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So Hwa-young apparently still lives in the apartment that with Xiaoyo, but he's like moved into the spare room, and Xiaoyo sleeps on the floor with his head on the bed every night. I don't even know.
So fucking
Their
dramatic.
relationship has gotten weird.
They went from 0 to like 100 on like the like neediness of each other, to be honest.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah, they
Xiaoyo,
like super
please.
U-hauled.
Mm-hmm.
I guess if you need to know how to make a man obsessed with you, then Hwa-young has some tips.
Yeah, I don't know that I want to follow
And
his
Xiaoyo
tips.
convince. No, don't follow it. He's not a good role model, but it seems to be effective.
Yep.
One of his strategies is playing hard to get, and he does this when Xiaoyo tries to like convince him to move back to the main bedroom, and then like tries to have sex, but Hwa-young shuts it down because again he's like, we have to mate for life. So I guess they're back together though, and it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, this was kind of a weird moment for me, because it was one of those, like, I thought Hwa-young, like, straight up moved out when he left the note of, hey, I'm gonna go trade myself for the drugs, right? So when he was back in the apartment, I'm like, what are you doing here? and
I
then
know.
it's like,
And it's like, why can't you just like be together? Or even if, you know, you're doing this on the side. But you both know about it, so it's okay.
Yeah, I think it was because of like that Xiaoyo, I don't sleep with people who sleep with other people, whatever thing he had going on. But he's also made it very clear that this is the exception anyway. So like, stop being fucking dramatic.
Yeah. Exactly.
But also,
speaking of,
if Hwa-young has that disorder, right, where he can't sleep with somebody he's not mated to, right, as he claims, how the fuck is he sleeping with Wenlong anyway?
Okay, that was my question too. I was like, I mean, maybe it only counts if it's like, you know, like full sex, like. So maybe he can do other stuff and it's okay. But I also was kind of questioning that. I was like, isn't he worried about Hwa-young like mating for life with Wenlong or something like that? Like,
I think he's too frazzled.
I guess I don't really know
think.
where. I think he just doesn't think.
Yeah,
which is
because if he took a step, he'd be like, you can't be having sex with him because of your disorder. Like,
yeah,
sure, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. So they go on a library date, and this is so ridiculous, but there's like a big fucking earthquake, and they're in, and it cracks me up. The library has VIP rooms, which is just really funny because that's like, I guess maybe, I don't know, maybe libraries in China have this, but in the US, like that would not happen. Like a library is a place of like equality. So but they're in the VIP room. And they the room like gets absolutely wrecked and they're trapped in there. And Hua Young is like, he keeps them safe, like he protects the walls from caving in on them. What can he use this as like pheromones and strength? But it's his alpha pheromones, or his, I guess, enigma ones. And Xiao Yo like ends up passing out, and they are completely stuck inside the room. So that's freak accident not accounted for.
Yeah. This was such a random
This is
scene because they're like,
this
we're
is
going on a
so
library date.
random.
And they're having like a picnic in the middle of this private room in this library. Like, what are you doing?
I know. In the VIP room in the library.
Hmm.
Yeah. Really, I don't know why they decided to reveal. Like, this all happens just so, like, Hua Young's true identity gets revealed, but it's, like, a crazy way to go about it.
Yeah.
So, Wenlong freaks out about how unsafe Gaoto's place is, and then he demands Gaoto move in with him, but Gaoto has to stay in the hospital instead, so
Yeah. Yeah, he's with his
doesn't
sister.
get to do that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was just so funny. Wenlong's like, your apartment building is like really shitty, right? So like it's gonna
Mm-hmm.
not be safe because of this earthquake. Move in with me right now. Kata's like,
Yeah.
I'm with my sister. I'm good. Bye.
Yes.
And I think he ends up going back to his apartment like that night anyway.
Yeah, because his apartment was fine. It's literally just the library that is in
Yeah, everything else
shambles.
got wrecked. Yeah.
Nothing else.
It's only the VIP rooms.
Yeah, it literally is. Um, cause they like, people know that they're trapped in these rooms, but they like can't get them out yet. And Huayang has been impaled in the shoulder by some like rebar, and he pulls it out. You're not supposed to do that, sir. You're supposed to leave it in. If you ever get impaled by anything, don't pull it out.
Leave it. Mm-hmm. You'll
Leave it
bleed
in. If
out.
you get
Yeah.
stabbed, leave it in.
Yep.
And Xiaoyo's company, I guess they built the VIP room that they were in, so like now they're taking the heat for like the shitty construction, which like I don't know if that really makes sense. Like they're not the are they the construction company for it? Or I thought they
They
just funded it.
they funded it, but also it comes out a little bit later. But it's Xiao Qing,
Mm.
Xiaoyang or Xiao You's brother was the one who was handling all this, and so they donated the money for it. But
Mm.
they also handled who picked the construction company and all that, and making sure everything was up to code.
Okay.
So they didn't just throw money at it; they were actively involved through Xiao Qing, who just I think money laundered instead.
Gotcha. Okay.
And
Yeah,
so
I was like, oh, if they just sponsored the room, I don't know why
no,
it's their fault, but that
no,
makes a
they
bit more sense.
yeah, they were involved in all of it, and that's why like it was only the VIP room that was damaged. Like the rest of the library was
Mm-hmm.
fine-ish, right? Not in shambles the way that the like VIP room was destroyed.
Yeah. Yeah, and Xiaoyu does wake up in the midst of all this, and he accuses Hwayoung of being an S tier alpha, because of like the pheromones and strength and shit. And Hwayoung's like, "Listen, I'll explain after we're free. Like,
Not the time.
please." Yeah. And Xiaoyu starts to piece together that Hwayoung is the secret owner of X Holdings.
Yep. Good job, buddy.
Mm-hmm. Good job. Hey, he's much quicker than Wenlong is at figuring stuff out. So
Yep. He
good for him. If
he
this was
ran.
Wenlong, he'd still be like, "Wow, you reek of your omega still," or whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
It was the smell was what tipped him off though, because his like enigma pheromones are much stronger than like the omega ones, right? That he's been like faking. And that's the
Uh
same
huh.
ones that from like that one random like dinner party where he blindfolded the other guy.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the last time he smelled that, and that's where he's like, wait a second.
I know that smell.
Hmm. So yeah, so then Hwayoung is like seriously injured though, even though he took the rebarb out and he can like handle like injuries much better than like a normal person can. So
Mm-hmm.
he's not doing great regardless. He's like leaned up against like a wall and he's just like barely there. And Xiaoyo is like faltering back and forth between like concern and anger. It's really funny watching him try to like cope
Mm-hmm.
because he's like, I don't want anything to do with you, but also I don't want to be in a room with a dead body, is how he's explaining it. But
Yeah.
it's clearly he cares.
Yeah.
And Hoyoung is like, I can hear the rescue crew coming. And he's like, the collapse is really bad though, so they're gonna need hydraulic drills. Apparently, his Enigma powers means he can sense all that. Um,
He's like echolocation, but like through walls.
right? Hoyoung's like Enigma powers are just everything and anything. Like he's so like omnipresent, honestly, like with his powers.
Yeah. Anything they want to throw at him, they're like, yeah, give him that. It's an enigma power.
Right? It's like, where did that come from all of a sudden? Like, he'll just randomly have like a new skill, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Sure, why
Yeah.
not?
Mm-hmm.
And Xiaoyu does realize that Huayang is more than an S tier alpha, but like he doesn't quite understand what that means. Because again, Enigma
Mm-hmm.
at this point is like a fairy tale basically. They're like, it might exist, it might not.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not like a publicly known thing that exists. Um,
Yeah. It's like if you found out your boyfriend was a vampire, you'd be like, that's not real.
yeah. And but yeah, Huayang again won't tell him anything, right? Because he's like, this is not the moment. He
Mm-hmm.
does
I'm
confess.
dying.
Yeah. Like actively like bleeding out currently. Can we not do this? But he does confess that he was the one that slept with Xiaoyo the other day. So, he does admit that at least. And then he goes, "Can I continue to pursue you? Are you fucking kidding me?"
Like, dude.
Really?
Like when we talk about now's not the time. Now's really not the time for that.
Right? Like, what are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
Hwa is using his like soothing pheromones though. Um which annoys Xiaoyo. I'm sure it's actually helping, but it annoys him. He's like, "Can you stop?" But also like it takes up energy, and again, Hwa is like actively dying right now. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so Xiaoyo is like, "I'm not interested in alphas," which is really funny because Hwa like, "Understood, not an alpha."
Yeah. I do enjoy that after this like moment, Hwa is brutally honest with him.
Hmm.
Like anything Xiaoyu will ask him, he will answer honestly. And I'm like, wow, that's honestly I kind of love that.
I love it, and
Like
I
even if it's like
also
super fucked up, he's just like smiley. He's like, "Yep, I did that."
I also love that Xiaoyo will ask a question, Hwa will give him an honest answer, and Xiaoyo's like, "Are you fucking mental?" Like,
Yes. And he like doesn't believe him half the time when like Hwa-young's like, "I'm not an alpha." Xiaoyu's like, "Yes, you are." And Hwa-young's like, "Okay, I'm not though."
and
Whatever you think.
it's so cute. It's so funny. Wang's like, pat, pat, pat. There. You'll figure it out.
Yeah.
um. So they do finally get rescued, and they get sent like on separate ambulances. And at first, I thought they get sent to completely different hospitals, but they're in the same hospital. But they talk about being in like separate ERs, and I don't quite understand that. But they're in separate ERs, I guess. I think that might be
I
something
guess.
lost in translation compared to what we do, because I think part of it is also like the extent of medical need they have, because Hwa needs surgery, right? Because he's got a gaping wound in his shoulder from some rebar, and and Xiaoyo is honestly more or less fine. I think he
Yeah,
probably
he's
has like a
chilling.
concussion or something, because I think he did get hit in the head a little bit, but like uh, for the most part he's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Hwa made sure of that. Um, Wenlong goes to Hwa and calls him a lunatic again, as he does.
Mm-hmm.
And Hwa has surgery without anesthesia, which I think is from the medication he was taking. That they would have interfered with it. And everyone thinks he's crazy for doing all the surgery without the anesthesia, but he honestly seems entirely unbothered by the surgery. Um,
Yeah.
and the doctors are like, he should be comatose from the amount of blood loss, but he's basically just walking around like normal. Um,
Mm-hmm. This
he's
is the power
entirely
of an
okay,
enigma.
right? Like indestructible apparently. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and Xiaoyo is again mostly fine.
Mm-hmm.
um, Hwayoung is stuck in the hospital though. Like they make him stay for observation and stuff for a while because also again gaping wound in his shoulder. Um, and he is like obsessively texting Xiaoyo, who's just ignoring him because he's pissed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the media is still criticizing Xiaoyo's company for the collapse. And that's where we find out that Xiaoqing was the one who was in charge of the donation and all that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then Xiaoyo gets discharged and he goes to Hwayoung's room. And he's like at the door, but he sees that like Wenlong is there, so he just leaves. I'm not dealing with
Yeah,
this
because
shit.
Hwayoung's texting him like, I'm in so much pain. I'm so lonely. I have no one. No one loves me. No one visits me. And then he feels bad, so he goes to Hwayoung's room, and then he's just like chatting with Wenlong.
Yeah, like things
And
are fine.
Xiaoyu's like, okay, you
Just what?
bitch. Like you're being so dramatic for no reason. You're like you're like a psycho.
Yeah, I would have left too. Like
Mm.
this is all too much for me. You've lied the entire time we've known each
Yeah.
other, and like I would have had. I would. I'm a nosy bitch, so I would have probably stuck around long enough to have some questions answered. Like, what were you doing as a server at the lounge, right? Like from the get go,
Mm.
and like the very first time they met each other, it was like at the hospital. Like I would be asking 1,000
Mm-hmm.
questions and leaving it at that.
Yeah. He does ask them later, but I think
Yeah,
for now he's just like in shock and he's probably just like, I just want to leave the hospital, so
yeah.
goodbye.
So in the meantime, again, Xiaoqing is mad about the failed kidnapping, right? Um, and so now he wants his like goons to cut out Xiaoyo's glands, um, which is also lethal, right? Like there's no surviving that
Yeah,
apparently.
it's fatal completely.
Yeah, right. So like cool. We're escalating considerably now, but sure.
To murder, yes.
Yeah. Wenlong, though, he does go stop by Gao To's sister's room to check on both of them. He plays it off as there to see the sister, but he's there for Gao To. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then after that, Gao To stops by Hua Young's room. And this is where Hua Young starts to stir the pot about this mysterious Omega because he 100% knows everything that's
Mm-hmm.
going on. He sees it, he gets it, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And he brings up the photo again that he has about the Omega, which Wenlong kind of ignored the first time and kind of was like, whatever, I don't care, right? And Wenlong's like, okay, well, send it to Gaoto or whatever to like deal with, and maybe he can figure it out. And then like somebody calls, and Wenlong steps out into the hallway to go answer the call, and so it's just Huayang and Gaoto, and Huayang shows Gaoto the photo, and it's super obvious it's Gaoto. Like it's not like
Mm-hmm.
a straight photo, but it's clear as day that like it's him. Anyone who would know him be like, oh yeah, that's Gaoto. Um, and so Gaoto like starts to be like, I can like explain, and Huayang's like, I don't care, right? Like whatever you two have going on,
Mm-hmm.
don't care, staying out of it. But he does clock both of them for having feelings for each other and just not talking about it.
Uh-huh.
He's like, I'll send you the photo, and you can do whatever you want with it. That's as far as I'm
Yeah.
getting involved.
Yeah.
I love him
That's
for
very
it,
fair.
right?
Mm.
Curious enough to fuck around, but not enough to actually like openly say anything useful. Um,
Yeah,
especially,
I think Hwayoung is very self-serving. Like if it
oh
doesn't
yeah,
like he has his own goals, and if other things happening that don't have to do with him, he just like kind of doesn't give a shit.
no. Especially if it doesn't have anything to do with Xiaoyo, he does not care.
Yeah.
The
He's
man has
whatever.
one thing on his
Do what you
brain,
want.
and it is Xiaoyo.
Mm-hmm.
So, which speaking of, because he's still being
Yes.
ignored by Xiaoyo, he writes a literal box full of letters and sends it to Xiaoyou. And it's literally the same thing as the text of like, I'm alone, I'm lonely, I miss you, whatever, whatever. It's literally a box full of letters. And Xiaoyou gets the letters. He reads like half of one and then just throws the whole box away. And then Huayang just continues to like love bomb Xiaoyou. Like letters and whatever,
This is the shit that
flowers and
I can't stand. Like this is the shit that Sky does in like High School Frenemy that I hated but you loved. I hate love bombing. It just makes me so ill.
I will say this like small era of their relationship, I'm not crazy about either, because I also think, because obviously they're gonna end up to get back together again. That's not a spoiler. That's how these shows go, right?
Yeah.
But for Hua Young to basically be like a stalker and lying and making up a whole personality basically so that Xiaoyou would like fall for him, and then like coming out as an enigma and also like like that's a huge change. Even being another alpha compared to like an omega is like a problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then like just absolute love bombing, and then finding out that he's part of X Holdings, and he had the control of the drugs the entire time, and he's just been fucking with Xiaoyou this entire time, right? Like for me, running for the hills. Like
Yeah.
we're not coming back from that. But of course they do, because sure, because honestly Xiaoyou I think just gets beat down. It's not even that he gets
Yeah.
love bombed. I think he just gets beat down. Like,
Yeah. He just like gets too tired to
which is
deal with us anymore.
great, right? So
Wonderful.
but Huayang delivers the last letter in person. And Xiaoyu's like, I'll forgive you if you vanish forever. And then
Mm-hmm.
Huayang just follows him around work. And I'm like, how did you not just have him escorted by like security out?
Yeah, literally call the police. It's trespassing
Right? Right? Because he
and stalking.
literally follows him around the building, waits for him outside of meetings. Like, and this is where I'm like, clearly Xiaoyu isn't like serious about being pissed about all these lies. Like he's fine with
Uh-huh.
it, because otherwise he wouldn't let this man like follow him around like a lost fucking puppy. Um,
Yeah, exactly.
like I know he's got better because it's clearly ignoring him isn't gonna fix this, right?
Hmm.
So yeah, the fact that he doesn't take a strong stance against him, I'm like, you like this shit, don't you?
He must.
um, we do have like this really brief, interesting moment that ends up meaning nothing, though, because part of doing like damage control for the bad construction of the VIP rooms at the library, Xiaoyu ends up doing like an interview with this reporter, and it happens to be the reporter, the guy from the very first episode when Hua is like kidnapped all the omegas that Xiaoyu
Mm.
slept with, and there's like one that they focus on who had like the longest relationship with Xiaoyu. And that's who this reporter is that poor guy from the beginning who was scared shitless, right? Um, and so he's like happy to see Xiaoyu. Like there's nothing between them. They seem like very casual, just like happy to see each other. They haven't seen each other in months, whatever type of situation. Very just friendly, but nothing beyond that. And Xiaoyu's like, hey, do you want to have like dinner or whatever now that the interview's over afterwards? And that's where like Hua comes out from like the side, and the reporter sees him and like realizes who he is, and like done. Nope, runs. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, this is why I'm like isolating
Yeah.
Xiaoyu. Like, you can't have any relationships with anyone ever again except for me. I'm the only one.
He is a little much.
A
um
little bit.
yeah, but Xiaoyu does change the apartment lock code, and so he locks Hua Young out. So he at least does that much. Um, but then Xiao fucking Xiao Qing, Xiao Qing's
Mm.
men like gas Xiaoyu and like knock him out. Um, and Hua Young's like camped out in like the parking garage anyway, so he watches them carry the men carry Xiaoyu out and into like their van, and then like follows them from the parking garage.
I guess pros of having a stalker who's obsessed with you, like
Right?
that does
But
something.
also, can you imagine getting him through that building? The amount of security cameras they have.
Mm-hmm.
And like, this is not a strong team of kidnappers, right? So, sure.
Yeah. So Xiaoyo is tied up and the goons are gonna try to like remove his gland and kill him, which I don't know why they don't just like slit his throat or stab him in the chest or something, but their plan is to remove the gland specifically.
That's what Xiaoqing wants.
And yeah, a very specific cause of death, but like okay. So they hit him with a baseball bat, but he is able to overpower them with his like S-class pheromones, and he breaks out of the rope, and they hit him with some like poison dart to like try and kill him.
Yeah. Which ends up being
But
cyanide.
he's
But
fighting back.
yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're serious about this.
Mm-hmm.
And the power goes out, and it comes back on, and Xiaoyo is gone. And it's because Huayang came to save him. And dude, he's like a tank. Like his pheromones are so OP. He is like fucking everyone up, and he's super fast now too, because of his Enigma powers.
Yep. He's the
And
Flash,
like literally
apparently.
he is, yeah, he's the Flash too. He can do everything. And the only reason the men survive is because Huayang thinks that Xiaoyo would be mad if he murdered them. So that's like the only reason he spares them. No other reason.
It's so funny because this comes up multiple times where he's like, murder's illegal and Xiaoyo would be mad, so I can't kill you.
I guess I can't. Otherwise, count your friggin' days.
Yep.
But they're home now. But Xiaoyo is like literally dying of cyanide poisoning, and Huayang decides that the only way to save him is to permanently mark him like you would with an omega. Um, and so he does that, and like Xiaoyo goes into heat from the marking, and then they have sex, and then Xiaoyo admits to liking Huayang. And also he doesn't die from cyanide, so I guess it worked.
Yep. He gets a power boost from being marked, so.
Yes, he gets a little taste of the Enigma's powers. So Gaoto is back at work, but he's still sick, and his coworker is like, "Yeah, my neighbor's an Omega, and she has the same symptoms as you, but it's because she's pregnant. You're probably you just have a cold." And this is when Gaucho's like, oh, shit. So he buys a pregnancy test. It's positive. Hello, mpreg, my dear friend.
It's so funny because it's just like I don't think it was on his mind either that he could be pregnant. Like it didn't even like he just thought he was sick too until like his coworker said that and he went, oh, uh-oh.
Yeah, should have taken a plan B. But now, okay, he's pregnant. He's like, what do I do? And so he has decided that he's going to resign from work. Because he's like, listen, the rent's too expensive here anyway. Like, I'm going to have a baby and we're going to go off into the sunset and never return.
Also, it's going to be really obvious he's an Omega once he's pregnant at work.
Yes.
And
yeah, no kidding.
He can't take his like suppressants either anymore, right? Because baby. So he doesn't really have a choice unless he wants to admit that he's an Omega. And
yeah, tell the truth, which would be the easier thing to do, honestly, but he's decided to not do that.
okay, it's coming later.
So
he had a moment where he thought about it, but Wenlong fucks that up. So it's not entirely on him.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That is true. Back to Xiaoyo, he is surprised that Huayang didn't kill the kidnappers because again, Hwayoung's insane. And Hwayoung like tries to tell Xiaoyo that he marked him, but Xiaoyo's like just kind of brushes it off because he's like, I'm an alpha, I can't be marked. Like that doesn't make any sense. And so Hwayoung's just kind of like, okay, well, I marked you though, so by the way.
I'm surprised there's not like a physical like marking from that, right? Because they have like with the pheromone things, they have like the physical markings and stuff like that. So
yeah,
you would think there'd be
I would think you'd be able
of,
to see like bite marks or something. Like,
yeah.
however
The marking process happens, because they skip over that for us. We don't know exactly what happens.
Yeah, it is kind of up in the air.
Yeah. Don't think too hard on it. It's all that.
Yeah, just accept.
Yeah. But yeah, Hwayoung does tell Xiaoyo that he sent the kidnappers to the police, which I think is hilarious.
Yes. Yeah. And Gaoto asks Wenlong, like, what would you do if, like, an Omega got pregnant with your kid? And he gives off, like, he basically was not very accepting. He was like, I would have them get rid of it. Like, no questions asked. Like, just get rid of it. And so Gaoto, who is, I guess that was his kind of one chance to test the waters and see the answer. Once he gets the answer, he's finally, like, he tells him off for being, like, sexist, basically. Omegaist, if you will. I don't really know what the word is, but, and then he resigns. Because he's like, well, I guess he's not going to be a part of mine and the baby's life.
Which, honestly, good for Gaoto, finally. Right?
Yeah, I know. I finally, like, standing up for himself, like, literally for the first time. So, I think he's crazy for wanting to keep the baby and run off like this, but, like, at least he is making his own decision here, so, like, good for him.
Yeah, I don't entirely understand the reasoning for keeping the kid. Like, I
feel like that's kind of like real life too, though. Like, people will be pregnant and they'll be like, guess I have to have a baby. And I'm like, oh, I guess if you want.
Yeah.
There's other options, but okay.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's like, I know I'll never get to have Wenlong, so I at least have a piece of him type of a situation, or
maybe he just, like, he sees, like, a future. Because I think right now he's not living for himself. He's just, like, in the cycle. And I think maybe he sees the baby as, like, a bright light in the future of, like, my life doesn't have to be like this. This is my ticket. Like, this is, like, the push I need into, like, making the change to see the life that I want to have, in a way.
I can see that.
Maybe.
He has a very complicated life because he's got to deal with his dad and then his sister and all that, right? So, but yeah. I mean, there's a few different ways.
And Wenlong is, like, really trying to understand his own feelings about why, like, Gaoto quit. And he overhears Gaoto making a comment about, like, I'll stay if I can get, like, 15% of the shares of the company. And it's, like, a joke, but of course Wenlong doesn't understand that. And now he's mad because, like, he thinks his friend's just, like, greedy, out to get him, whatever. Like, he just completely...
Right.
He cannot understand emotion. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny because, like, he has to, like, he knows Gaoto. He knows Gaoto would never, ever ask for something like that. Because, like, Wenlong has offered him, like, all the money he wants, basically, right? To help take care of his sister and whatever else he needs and get him out of, like, his shithole of a apartment and all this. Like Wenlong has offered plenty and Gaoto hasn't taken any of it. Like...
Yeah, I think he just feels so, like, blindsided and betrayed already by Gaoto leaving for seemingly no reason.
Yeah.
That he's just thinks, like, like, how deep does the well go? Like, what other things don't I know about him?
Yeah.
So.
That he's the Omega you slept with. How about that for starters?
How about that one? Yeah. And Hwang apparently this part was so weird. He apparently had like trained himself how to cry like an Omega because like I guess Enigmas can't cry, but honestly I think it's just because like he's a psychopath and so he
Yeah.
doesn't have the emotion to cry. And he knows that Xiaoyu likes like crying Omegas, like pathetic little Omega boys. So that's why he like was trying so hard to learn. Um, and he also gives the whole company a day off. And Hua-young and Xiaoyu, they're still arguing about the mark thing. Like Xiaoyu still doesn't take him seriously when he talks about being marked, and Hua-young's like, I don't know what to tell you, man. I marked you. Not an Omega.
Yeah. Xiaoyu the entire time just like, your fantasy is getting a bit much. And Hwa-young's like, yeah, it's not a fantasy.
Yeah, I'm telling you the truth, man.
So it's I would love I don't think the show needs a season 2, to be honest. Like, leave it as is. Are we getting a season 2? I
Mm-hmm.
don't think so. Are we?
I
I
don't
don't think they've announced a
know.
season 2. 'Cause I
I feel
know
like they might be.
I think both pairs have new shows coming, but I don't think season 2's been announced.
Oh, I see. There will
Yeah.
not. Okay,
So
you're right.
I don't think we're getting a season 2, but
Okay.
if they did, I would love to meet another Enigma to see if all of
Uh
them
huh.
are psychopaths and or whatever,
Yeah, or
sociopaths,
if it's
whatever.
just
Just him.
Hwa-young. Yeah.
I want that
I would love to
balance,
see that too.
right? Because I can see it either way, to be perfectly honest. But
Mm-hmm. I
I
agree.
think it would be very interesting if it was just him.
Yeah.
Like
I feel
like
like it
the
is, honestly.
right, like the other ones, like yeah, they're OP, but they're like at least well adjusted. Um,
Yeah. I feel like their gender doesn't have anything to do with
no,
being a lunatic.
no. So yeah. So episode 13 then. Hwoyoung is still just staying. He's super clingy to Xiaoyou at this point, like super clingy because I guess they're in together, whatever. But he didn't actually send the kidnappers to the police. He lied to Xiaoyou about that, so shame on him for that. Um, what he
Mm-hmm.
did though is he had his secretary interrogate them to find out who hired them. Which he figures out is Shaoqing, right? So count your days, Shaoqing, I
Mm-hmm.
guess. Um, and
You got only a
Hwayoung
couple left.
and Hwayoung now wants to be Xiaoyou's secretary. Um, and they argue about it, and then Hwayoung, because again, right, Xiaoyu now knows that like he's the CEO of X Holdings, right? So Xiaoyu's
Mm-hmm.
like, the fuck do you want to be my secretary for? You're the CEO of your own company, and Hwayoung's like, I don't give a shit. I'd rather just be around you all day.
Uh,
Obsessive.
yeah, it's ridiculous. I love how much he just doesn't give a shit about his own company.
Right? Um, so, but while they're arguing, Hwayoung finally just like gives up arguing and just kisses Xiaoyu. And Xiaoyu kisses back, but then he pushes Hwayoung away and he's even more mad again. And that's where Hwayoung finally says, "Hey, I'm an enigma," right? Because this entire time he's just been like, "I'm not an alpha," and like leaving it at that. Um, and Xiaoyu, of course, doesn't believe him. Um, and then Xiaoyu gives Hwayoung a chance to like tell the truth, which he was doing. Um, and that's um where Hwayoung says that like literally everything from day one has been kind of a lie. Um, and
Mm.
he reintroduces himself and then tells how they met as kids, where Hwayoung was being bullied and Xiaoyu like stepped in. And basically Hwayoung has been stalking Xiaoyu his entire life. Like even his teens, like his room was covered in photos and art of Xiaoyu. Like this is too much for me. Um,
This is way too much. This is so creepy.
yeah, I this 100% this is a line for me. They met for like 5 minutes when Hwayoung was a kid, and then like that was it. And then Hwa-young made that his entire personality for the rest of his life.
That's like, get a grip,
Yeah.
please. Make a friend.
Right?
Live for something else.
Mm-hmm.
A
And,
hobby, perhaps.
right? And, like, while we see, like, in Hwa-young's room, like, with all this stuff, like, one of his brothers shows up and is, like, trying to bully him, whatever, and Xiaoyu ends up, like, damaging his hand somehow because, like, the brother, like, shreds one of the photos, and he's like, which hand do you want, your left or your right, right? And then, I don't know, you just see blood splatter. Um, and then after that, you see fucking Hwa-young, like, taping back together the blood-covered, like, shredded photo of Xiaoyu like a nutcase. Like, I'm sorry. Just go print it again.
Yes. Just print a new one.
And then um and then Hua Young says that the HS in HS group, which is Wen Long's company, right? And Hua
Mm-hmm.
Young says the H is for Hua and the S is for Shang, which is Xiaoyou's last name. So he says that the company's basically named after them, and he provided all the money for the startup. And so Xiaoyou's like, does Wen Long know that? And Hua Young's like, I literally don't give a shit one way or another.
Like, I don't care
And
about, I literally only care about you. Have you not gotten that yet?
but Xiaoyu, I guess, is really cool with Hua Young being a stalker because he initiates the kiss this time. Um,
Yeah, he's like kind of into it for some reason.
yeah.
Which I guess is for the best, because better that than not into it, but it's perplexing.
Can you imagine if he just outright just straight up rejected Hua Young? Like Hua Young would have him in a
He would
dungeon at
die.
some point, right?
Oh, Hwa-young is like very much like the if I can't have him, no one can type.
Yes.
So I don't
Well,
think it would have gone well.
no, he would have been locked up in maybe not a dungeon. He'd have put him in like a hotel suite, like in the penthouse of the hotel,
He,
and had
yeah,
him like
he would have
chained.
killed him and then killed himself. Like,
Relevant to later, but you know.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
um. So yeah, so we have them doing their thing, and Gaoto goes to the hospital to be like, "Hey, I should probably check in with my doctor about this pregnancy." And the doctor's like, "You should terminate because it's gonna
Mm-hmm.
be difficult with your disorder and without having an alpha to help take care of you and all this and whatever, and it's just too difficult." And Gaoto's like, "How
Mm-hmm.
fucking dare you?" um,
I'm not. I. He's like, I can't hear.
yeah, no, he has a backbone. He's like,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely not. Um,
Mm-hmm.
And then we're back to Hua-young and Xiaoyu, and Hua-young is now Xiaoyu's secretary for some fucking reason. Um,
Yes.
um, and Xiaoyu goes to the doctor, right, with Hua-young, and amazing, his pheromone disorder has recovered now that he's slept with Hua-young. Imagine that. Um,
Wow.
and the doctor's like, you should stick to sleeping with whoever it was you slept with because it cured your disorder. So congrats.
Great. I wonder if there was someone who caused the disorder in the first place, but let's not think about that.
Yeah. It was really funny too, because like the doctor implied it was somebody not Hua Young. And Hua Young was like,
Mm-hmm.
are you really telling my alpha to sleep with somebody else in front of me? like like he's
Because
very
he was like, keep sleeping with your omega. And
yeah.
Hwa-young's like, there's no omega.
Yeah. Because it's really funny. So Hua Young has like two personalities, right? He has Omega Hua Young and then Enigma Hua Young. And
Mm-hmm.
Elliot, the actor, does a really good job of switching between the two. And so
Yeah.
he's very much Enigma at this moment, but is still supposed to be pretending to be Omega, but is clearly not. And so it's like,
Yeah, he like can't hold back.
it's really funny to see because the doctor's kind of like, what the fuck is happening?
I know.
I'm
Yeah.
just doing my job here.
Mm-hmm. Just giving you medical advice. So, Xiaoyu and Hua-young, they have unprotected sex because they're like a
Uh
couple
oh.
now. And, yeah, and also Xiaoyu doesn't think he can get pregnant.
Yeah. Hua Young
Ooh.
tries to stop them, and Xiaoya's like, it'll be fine. And Hua Young's like, what happens is not my problem, or is not my fault. It's
Yeah.
all you.
Uh, yeah. He's like, I warned you, kind of, a little bit.
Yeah.
And yeah, because Xiaoyo's like, he's kind of humoring these talks about like barking and pregnancy, but he thinks it's a joke and he thinks it's unbelievable. So he's not taking it seriously. Yeah, Xiaoqing, he's at the office. He's got the 88 Rising shirt on again. It's his only shirt.
It's my favorite.
Yeah. And Xiaoyo's rut starts at work. Uh-oh. Um, and Xiaoqing, he like is groveling for money again. And so Xiaoyo writes him a check and he's like, this is the last time that you're getting this. Like, don't think to ask me again. And so Xiaoqing invites Xiaoyo to a meal. He's like, listen, you've done so much for me. I just want to invite you like a meal as a thank you. Which, as Xiaoyo, I probably would have been like, no, bro, I know that's my money. Paying for the dinner anyway. But
Yeah.
he's like, okay, I'll go.
I guess there's some sort of like cultural thing to like not refusing the meal, because I would have absolutely refused that meal. Like,
Yeah, I feel
I'm
like it's
good.
literally my money. Like,
Yeah.
use it for what you need it for, not that.
Gambling.
Yeah, gambling. So Dad wakes up finally, and Xiaoyo and Huayang go to see him, and Dad is like really grilling Huayang about like his parents and where he's from and like what family he comes from and like everything like that. And he's like, well, it must be serious if you brought him to see me so soon.
Yeah. I thought Dad really hated Hwayoung, but like 5 minutes after this, he's like, "You guys are fine."
Yeah, I think he just wanted to make sure he was like from a good family or whatever, and he didn't really care about anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and Hwayoung's cousin wants to meet up. He's the one from episode 7, and I don't really know what he's here for, to be honest. But
Yeah, he serves no purpose.
he's no, but he's an Omega. His wife's an Alpha, and I wish we could see his wife because
Mm-hmm.
I love that. And they have kids, and yeah, Hwayoung refuses to meet up.
Yeah. I love the concept of an Omega husband, alpha wife.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because that
Me
means,
too.
because they talk about it a little bit later, because he shows up one more time randomly where he talks about how he was the one who carried the kids, and I was like, yeah, you did.
Hell yeah. This is the Omegaverse I want.
Right? Like, I don't,
Reciprocity.
maybe I would consider having kids if I didn't have to carry. Maybe,
No,
you know?
literally. That's
Probably
like
not, but
that's literally 100% me too. Like I with a man, no, not having kids. But if I was with a woman and she was like, "Well, I would do it." I'd be like, maybe. I could be convinced, but
yeah. I don't think I could be, because still being locked down with a kid for 18 years plus the rest
yeah.
of your
I
life,
don't
I don't want it. I can't even
it's
commit to
too
a
much.
dog.
Yeah,
I don't want
it's
to
a
commit
lot
to
of
a kid.
work. I know. Dog's way too much commitment. I have a cat and he's great. But he is like, as you can see
Yeah.
if you're watching this, he has been running around on me like all episode because he's bored.
He started
So
adding to our notes earlier, which was fun.
he did. He likes to type a lot. So,
It's funny. We should have him
but
type up all the notes one day and just be like, yeah, this is our notes for today.
this is it. He has a lot to say. I'm sure he'd love to do it.
He really likes the letter K, I have noticed.
I think you're right. That's his favorite letter.
Yeah, because last week the random notes I found from him were also mostly the letter K.
Ah, that's interesting. I'll have to keep an eye on that. But yeah. Dad tells Xiaoyu that he's like, I'm not gonna stop you from getting married. like, I approve of you. Just, like, make sure he's not in it for your money and stuff, but, like, whatever. He seems fine, so.
Mm-hmm.
And Hua-young is, like, looking up baby info, but Xiaoyo is still, like, not convinced he's gonna be pregnant because he doesn't understand the whole Omega thing. Like, he doesn't believe it at all.
Yeah. Hwoyoung's like, we're gonna need the notice at some point, and Xiaoyo's like,
Mm.
no, we're not.
Hua-young's like, okay, if you say so. And Xiaoyu and Hua-young, they do go to that dinner with Xiaoqing, but Hua-young knows it's like a setup kind of, and so he secretly records the meal without anyone else knowing. And it turns out that the drinks were spiked, and so Xiaoyu is like, he's like knocked the fuck out. And Hua-young he's like still conscious, but he's like fighting against it. And so Xiaoqing, again, he is going through with this plan to cut out the gland. And so he tries to stab Xiaoyu in the gland in the back of his neck. But then he is attacked with a wave of enigma pheromones and whatever telekinesis powers that Hua-young has. And so he's not successful, at least, but he then ends the video like with a note that it was self-defense, because like you could obviously see Xiaoqing attacked first, and
Yeah.
Hua-young like gets stabbed in the gland, but he seems fine.
Yeah. When Xiaoyu went to stab, not Xiaoyu, when Xiaoqing went to stab Xiaoyu, Hwoyoung literally like shields himself, and that's how he gets stabbed.
Yeah, but he's
But
like, again, he is super human or super wolf, whatever they are. And he's like, okay, even though anyone else would have died immediately.
yeah. Xiaoqing is very freaked out by whatever is happening right now.
Yes. And so yeah, Hua-young is just like mostly okay, and he's like rubbing his own blood on his neck for some reason.
Such a weird moment.
Yeah. Xiaoqing just like sprints away because he's scared.
Mm-hmm.
Which I would be too. If I like stabbed someone in the neck and then they were just like chill.
Yeah.
So some B and C tier alphas and some betas come to fight. And yeah, Hua-young has some like English line. I remember that too. I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting.
It was like any volunteers or something like that. It's like the first time anyone spoke in English this whole show. We're
I know.
towards the end of episode 14.
So
No, I'll
any
say
volunteers?
it was a very attractive moment. I will not lie, but it was like
It was. I enjoyed it.
so random for English to pop up. It's like,
Yeah, I don't know if they just think it's like cool or something, but
I have no idea.
kind of was.
Yeah, it was, but it was really funny.
Yeah, it was random. And the fight's basically just Hua-young like standing there while everyone else falls down. This would have been so funny to film. But finally, Xiaoqing gets a gun. Because remember, we have guns. And Hua-young is just like casually leaning against the wall, waiting, unbothered king. And he ends up just getting the gun in like 2 seconds. Like he truly not even worried.
I will say I do love this moment because like Hwoyoung is literally just like the charisma at the moment that is like oozing off of him from like I literally don't care that you think you're about to like shoot me. Like go ahead and try.
He's
in the
aura
way
farming everyone right now and pheromone farming everyone.
and then like the way he like walks up to Xiaoqing and like takes the gun from him so fast and we're just like wait, what?
Yes. Yeah, he's super OP. I wouldn't want to fight him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and on the other side of things, Gauto has officially left the company and he's pretty MIA. And Wenlong like won't stop texting him about the Omega because he's like, you told me like you would figure this out and you didn't. Like he's just kind of grasping at straws for like communication with Gauto, but Gauto like
He's
doesn't respond.
he's also asking about Gauto's pregnant Omega, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so that's what's so funny, where he's like, what's the Omega look like? Send me a photo. What this and that, and Gauto's like, go away.
Mm-hmm. Leave me alone.
So, getting close to the end now. A lot
Mm-hmm.
happens all at once now here at the end. Um,
Yes.
so this episode had a really weird moment here at the beginning, because we see Wenlong being upset that Gauto won't reply to his text, right? He's still moping about mass spamming and double texting and whatever, trying to get Gauto's attention. And while that's
Mm-hmm.
happening, we start getting a third person narration from Wenlong to
Yeah.
explain his feelings. Instead of like being able to like properly show what he's going through, they just have to talk it over. It's very bad writing.
Yeah, I was very confused. This is where the writing really starts to
Yeah.
tank. But yeah, I was also confused about this.
I don't know if it's because they only had a deal to get 16 episodes and they just had to figure this out, because they speed run this part, right? So,
Uh,
and I don't know. The whole like third person narration of Wenlong feels this and this and this and this, and it's like, uh-huh.
mm,
Okay, okay.
great.
Why are we narrating this
You ever
moment? Why
hear of
he's
show not tell?
right? Because Wenlong's literally like just staring off into the void on a couch while we're getting this narration. Like, oh,
Mm,
okay. And it's literally just more of Wenlong like crashing out over being ignored. At one point he like demands the money that he gave Gauto back. Is like, not that he even cares about the money. Like, does not care about them. He's
mm-hmm.
just trying to get any interaction from Gauto. Which,
Yeah.
instead of getting a text, Gauto just sends the money back.
Mm.
That's
Oh,
that's not what he wanted. But
no.
also, Gauto's dad is also blowing up Gauto's phone. This poor guy. um,
Mm-hmm.
his situationship that he doesn't even realize is a true situationship at this point, and his dad are both annoying the fuck out of him. And dad's like, I need money.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't given me money. Whatever. Gamble. Yada yada yada. Dad sucks. And so Gauto just gets fed up and he just pops his SIM card out of his phone.
Mm-hmm.
I had a moment.
Understandable.
Right. I had a moment where I was like, can you even do that in phones anymore? Because I don't think, like, I think all my SIM card is just digital now. Um,
Yeah, I have an eSIM, but my last phone
yeah.
had a physical card.
Yeah, my last one did too, but my last one was like a Galaxy S,
Mm-hmm.
like 18 or 15 or something. It was old.
Yeah, I think that was like my last. Well, actually, the last one I had was the Samsung Flip, Z Flip.
Hmm.
But this one now I have a Google. So
Nice.
I
Yeah.
don't think I have a physical card, but if I do, I don't use it.
Yeah, I have the S23, I think. And I think I have a 24 for work and S24, and neither of them have physical SD cards or SIM cards. They're all the
Mm-hmm.
eSIMs. Which makes it a little easier for traveling abroad, though. We'll say that.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so we get more voiceovers again, so of Wenlong's feelings instead of just like I think he's sitting at work this time, and we're just getting the voiceover. Like, sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then, meanwhile, Xiaoyu and Huayang are back at the hospital yet again. Um, Huayang is being overprotective as fuck, and Xiaoyu finally wakes up. And he's gonna be fine. Um, but Huayang is still stressed as fuck. Like, he isn't actively bleeding out himself. He is so worried about Xiaoyu, who is fine.
Yes.
Um, and when Long shows up, and he's asking the real questions of, "Are you sure you don't live at the hospital?" Because they are
No,
constantly at the fucking
literally.
hospital.
Half the show is at the hospital.
Yeah, and it's almost always Huayang.
Yes.
Huayang does get a dig back at him, saying that Gao To leaving is an internal crisis for Wenlong. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I love their like friendship so much.
I do too. They're so catty to each other.
Hmm. And then Hwayoung explains that the kidnapping and everything that's happened lately has all been Xiaoqing's doing. Um, and then after he gets that out, he finally collapses from his wound, right? Because again, he got stabbed in the gland. Um, and the
Yeah.
doctors,
Not supposed to survive, but he's fine.
yeah,
Kinda.
and the doctors want to like do surgery on it. And Hua Young's secretary is there and is like stops him and he goes, "Just so you know, he's Enigma. He needs Enigma blood for this. Like this isn't, you know."
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then somehow like Xiao Young looks like it actually like clicks with him. Maybe he is an Enigma. Um,
Mm-hmm.
like Hua Young hasn't been saying this openly for a while to him.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
oh, what? It's such a man thing to do where it's like you're not listening to your significant other, this random other person says it, and
Yeah.
it's like, oh, it's
Yeah.
actually
In all fairness, it is kind of like Boy Who Cried Wolf, because the whole time, like, Hwa Young's just lying to him about who he is, and so now that he's telling the truth, it's like, I don't know if I'd believe him either.
I don't know that I would believe him, but there's got to be a way to prove you're an enigma, right? Like the super speed thing and whatever. Like what?
Yeah.
Like is that a normal alpha thing? And he's just faster, but they also are fat. Like there's got to be
I
ways to prove
think
it.
I genuinely think Xiaoyo's just like he's lied about being an omega. He's just an S class alpha, but stronger than me.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Yeah. It's whatever.
I
It's
guess
fine.
yeah,
They'll
it's
figure it out.
whatever. Uh huh.
um So yeah, so then Hua Young is in a coma from all the blood loss, but he's stable at least, so he's gonna be fine. And
Mm-hmm.
Wenlong calls him a lunatic again. It's his favorite thing to do.
Yes.
Um, and then we get a flashback again of Hua Young learning to cry because Xiaoyo's type is crybaby. Um, and this is where we get another random appearance from that one cousin that has showed up twice for no reason and brought nothing to the show, and he's
Yeah.
there to explain how to cry and crying and why and whatever because apparently he's also a crybaby for his alpha. So sure,
Okay, Slay.
yeah, whatever. See, this is why I know realistically I'd be in an omega. I fucking cry too much.
Yeah. I mean, if that's a determining factor.
It seems to be.
Yeah.
Um, God help me.
Mm-hmm.
And then Hwoyoung wakes up from his coma, and he and Xiaoyo basically just immediately start arguing again. Because Xiaoyo's like, I want to go get the doctor, and Hwoyoung's like, you can't ever leave my side. You have to stay right here touching me. um, well, like his wound has like his stitching or whatever has opened up again, so he's now bleeding again, right? And Chayo literally has to
Mm-hmm.
threaten to cut himself with a fucking knife to get his point across that he also has feelings, not just Hwoyoung. Which
Mm-hmm.
I think something does click in Hwoyoung's brain at that moment. Um,
Mm-hmm.
in the meantime, they also were running some other tests on Xiaoyo, I guess, to make sure he's fine from being poisoned or whatever. And that's where we learned Xiaoyo's progesterone, progest, I don't
Mm-hmm.
know, whatever, some sort of,
Progesterone.
yeah, uh, is at pregnancy levels, right? And Xiaoyo's
Oh
like,
boy.
what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then we see Wenlang goes to see if Gaotou is at the hospital with his sister, since he's still being ignored, right? And he does happen to run into Gaotou, going to the restroom to throw up because, pregnant. Um, and
Pregnant.
Wenlong is like so close to getting it. Um, and he literally goes and says that if he didn't know better, he'd think that Gaotou is the one pregnant, right? Not his Omega. Um, like so close to getting it. And
Yeah.
Wenlong is super concerned for Gaotou though. He's like, if you need money or anything else, whatever, right? Like mad that the guy wanted 15% of the company, like as a joke, but like willing to give him literally anything. And Gaotou just
Yeah,
brushes him
he's just
off.
like so He's so desperate now because he
Right.
has nothing else. Like, ugh,
Yeah.
I feel for him.
Um, as a complete aside to this,
Their communication is so bad.
it really is. And
Mm-hmm.
Wenlong's just a dumbass. I get Gaoto.
Mm-hmm.
like Gaoto is in protection mode at this point. Um
Yeah.
but as a complete aside to this, while they're standing at the door of the bathroom, I noticed the bathroom was labeled ABO.
Was
So
it?
yeah, so I
Oh,
thought that
that's
was
funny.
interesting. So I guess that implies that there's alpha and beta and omega only, like individually, like bathrooms as well. So
Interesting.
yeah, I guess to further like emphasize that like male female no longer matters. It's all about ABO.
Mm-hmm.
But
Interesting.
yeah, I thought that was an interesting random small detail that I caught in the background when I was rewatching.
Yeah, that's cool.
And Xiaoyu gets his what was it again? Progesterone.
Progesterone.
Yeah, I don't know why that word's so hard for me. He gets it tested like 3 more times, same results. Congrats, he's pregnant.
It's a miracle.
um, the doctor says there's never been like a documented case of like an Enigma alpha bond, so like don't know how that's gonna go. And then he recommends terminating the pregnancy. So this is like twice the doctors have just recommended just terminating pregnancies. Um, but honestly, doctor's kind of lucky that he didn't just die on the spot for saying that because Hoyoung not happy about that.
Okay, Hwayoung.
Yeah,
Carry your own damn baby.
I'm sure he would if he could.
Yeah.
um, and I will say I don't think it's in the notes, but there was like one point where Hwayoung was like, I already have like a team of doctors all over in like country P or whatever the name of the country is, like that I have like built up for this moment. So they will be here the moment you say go, basically. So like at least he's got that. Because whatever doctors they're at are all just like abortion for everybody. Um
Yeah.
um and then Hwayoung has decided the baby's name is Peanut, which
Yeah,
cracked me up a
no,
little
he's
bit because I was
decided.
like, yeah, I had a moment because I'm like, oh yeah, that's a normal name, and I'm like, oh, this isn't a Thai show. That's slightly
Yeah.
less normal name.
That's so true. Yeah, if it was a Thai show, I wouldn't think twice about it.
Yeah, it took me a second to be like, oh, this isn't Thai. I don't know how normal Peanut
Yeah.
is in a Chinese show. Sure, why
Yeah.
not? And Xiaoyu is now sulking about being pregnant.
Yeah, he takes it like pretty well though. He's like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I
He
don't know that
kind
he
of just goes
believes
with
it.
things.
Yeah, I think he
Yeah, he doesn't have much of a reaction.
no because I think he still thinks everybody's fucking nuts. Um,
Yeah, right.
but this is where they do finally start talking. Xiaoyu does start asking what like a permanent marking means for him. And so this is where Huayang explains that Xiaoyu basically gets a 30% skill boost.
He gets a buff.
But also their cycles are now in sync. So this is where
Mm-hmm.
Huayang mentions, since we talked about it earlier, where their rut and heat are in sync with each other. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so we have that. So I guess Xiaoyu's not really in denial now since he's asking what a marking means for him because also he's pregnant, whatever, right? Um,
Yeah.
and then Gaoto's sister's out of the hospital. Yay! So now they're gonna move to a different city because rent is too expensive where they're at. Mood. Um,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
um, and then Wenlong has yet another crash out because now Gaoto has completely disconnected his phone number. And Wenlong is whining to Huayang, who does not give a fuck. he
Mm-hmm.
he does at least get Wenlong to admit his feelings to an extent. He doesn't outright say it, but it's very clear. Like it's not said, but
Mm-hmm.
it's implied very clearly that Wenlong does have feelings for
Yeah.
Gaoto, which means Huayang then
Yeah.
finally, yeah, Huayang finally spills the beans, and he's like, "By the way, uh, the Omega you slept with, that was Gaoto." Um,
Yes. He's like, you idiot.
right,
Like,
like,
I can't believe you didn't figure this out.
congrats, and then also
Mm-hmm.
randomly another English line from Huayang. I don't
Yeah.
remember what this one was, but there was another random English line. And then we have a HIPAA violation. Um,
Oh no. Yeah, right.
Because the Omega Protection Agency then calls Gauto's dad and is like, "Hey, Gauto's missed a bunch of like doctor's visits, and because he's got his Omega pheromone disorder thing, whatever, um, we wanted to make sure he's okay, whatever, so that's why we're calling family." And that's where I literally was like, there has to be some sort of HIPAA equivalent for this
Yeah,
situation.
he's not like a minor.
No.
He's like 35.
Right? And there's no way that Gauto's dad is cleared to answer these medical calls, right? Because Gauto's
Yeah, I don't
dad,
think he's an emergency contact.
no, because Gauto's dad also doesn't know that Gauto is an Omega. So,
Oh my god, that's crazy.
yeah. I think, okay, so like way back towards the beginning, there's the moment where Gauto's mom is like being
Oh
abused or whatever,
yeah.
right? I think that was the dad that was there. At the time, I didn't know who it was. And
I think you're right. I just forgot about that too.
yeah, I never knew who it was. Watching it twice, I still didn't put it together. But whatever.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, Gaucho's dad's like, "Oh, that's a interesting turn of events there." Um,
Yeah. I can use this to my advantage
yep,
to scam people.
right. And then Huayang does a very public proposal, but he does it as the CEO of X Holdings, and so he has like billboards or whatever.
Oh my
um,
god.
to be like, "Will you marry me?" And so it becomes like this big thing because right, they're the mysterious CEO of X Holdings, and then of course Xiaoyo, the CEO of Shangfang, whatever in the name of his company is. Like, it's a big deal for them to be together. Especially everyone's also like, "What the fuck is Huayang doing?" Like,
Yeah.
what is happening?
Uh God, I hate public proposals.
Same.
So, Xiaoyo's dad calls him in to talk about the proposal. He doesn't realize it's Hua Young. And so, dad really wants Xiaoyo to accept the proposal from the X Holding CEO. And he basically is like, listen, you can keep I know you like Hua Young a lot, but you can keep him as like your mistress. But you should really accept the proposal too. And Xiaoyo's like pretty pissed at this.
Yeah, this is literally his entire like childhood trauma in like two sentences of like his mom was like the real wife, but then dad had a million mistresses and too many kids.
Yeah, he's like, listen, I'm not you. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna do that. And Wenlong calls Gaoto's dad to get Gaoto to meet him. Because he's like, listen, I can't get a hold of him. Can you get a hold of him? And Gaoto's dad realizes, like, oh, this is the baby daddy. I see. Okay. And he's like scheming ways to profit. So Gaoto, or dad lies to Gaoto, and he's like, listen, like the money you loaned me, I'm actually doing really well right now. I just want to return it back to you. Like, let's meet up. And Gaoto's very hesitant, but he's like, I guess. So Xiaoyo and Huayang, they go to the lounge to hang out with Xiaoyo's friends, and Huayang won't let him drink because he's like, the baby. What about the baby?
This whole moment is so random, but it's so funny because the friends call and they're like, "We haven't seen you in a while," and all of a sudden you're gonna be like engaged to like the ex holding CEO. Let's celebrate you. Like, we're gonna go drink to celebrate you regardless, so you might as well show up. And then when they won't let him drink, and they Huayang like stops it, and the friends are like, "Why not?" And then Xiaoya's like, "Yeah, why not?" Huayang's like,
He's like, listen,
"It's
I'm an S-class alpha. Like, I can do it.
yeah." Huayang's like, "It's my fault he can't."
No fun either. Can't even drink while pregnant.
Awful.
What's the point? Awful. Um, So someone's making like a fuss at the lounge, and one of Xiaoyo's friends is the owner, so they like go to see what the deal is, and it ends up being Hwayoung's brother, who runs away really quick when he sees Hwayoung.
Yeah, it's the brother that he like damaged the hand of when he shredded the
Oh,
the photo of Xiaoyo.
right.
Yeah. So he's like throwing his weight around. It's really funny because he's like, yeah, I'm a high up stakeholder of X Holdings, whatever. You guys all need to clear out of this place and let me take over it, basically. And then Huang's just kind of chilling in a chair. He's not saying anything. And Xiaoya like looks at him and goes,
Mm-hmm.
does everyone in your company have a fucking ego? And
Yes,
Huang just
yes.
kind of
The
like
answer
shrugs.
is yeah.
It's a family issue.
It is. It runs in the family.
Yeah.
And Xiaoyo's dad calls Hwayoung to like try to get him to back down so that the engagement can go through. Um, and Hwayoung is like, "Hey, good news. I am the CEO of X Holding, so don't even worry about it, dude." And then Dad's like, "Oh, perfect. This solves all my problems. I give you guys full support."
Mm,
So they get engaged.
yeah. They have a
Yay.
cute actual engagement because they're like in the closet.
Yeah. Yeah, it's better than like a public engagement for sure.
Yeah. I would have expected something a little more dramatic, but I think Hua Young knows Xiaoyo enough to realize that something subtle is better.
Yeah. And so Gaoto, his dad, and Wenlong meet, and dad immediately spills that Gaoto's pregnant with Wenlong's kid, and he demands some money to get rid of the kid. And like Wenlong is like really pissed about like being used as a money scam. Like he's like, this is not making a good impression that I wanted. So
When
don't
Long
don't trust
again,
dad.
right? When Long like goes straight on the attack on Gaoto, right? Is like, how dare you? And it's like he didn't dare. Stop it.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Like,
And then of course Gaoto like goes to the bathroom, climbs out the window, escapes, and they move away.
yeah.
And like forever,
Yep.
essentially. Like
Gone.
wow,
He and
that's
his
quite
sister
the
gone.
fumble. Yeah. I mean, good for them for like escaping, but like yeah, this is crazy.
I'm kind of surprised that he manages to stay hidden the way he does. Because I feel like when Long with the
Me
money and
too. I
resources he
wouldn't think
has, yeah,
could find someone.
yeah, he had to have done like a full name change and everything. But we'll never
Gaoto's just yeah,
know.
he's like off the grid completely. Yeah. Well, if there's one thing I can tell you about the rest of the show is that a lot's gonna happen and there's basically no show left. So Wen Long starts posting videos to try to get Gaoto to talk to him, but it doesn't work, and he ends up in the hospital. He's in like a stress induced rut, and he's like has uncontrollable pheromones everywhere. Uh, he's losing his mind. And Wen Long's dad used to take care of Hua which is secretly why Hua helped HS Group. And so dad calls Hwa He's like, hey, Wenlong's crashing out. Like, you need to come get him. He's like making a huge scene. And that's because he's literally like trying to bang down the door of Gaoto's old apartment. And like Gaoto doesn't live there anymore. It's just like some lady who lives there now who's like terrified. But he's like in a haze and like unconsolable. And so like a SWAT team shows up and like to try to get him to stop, and they end up like tranking him. Hwa ends up like taking him then.
This is so
It's
fucking funny.
I like feel so bad for him, but also like yeah, I mean there was too much fumbling happening. Like you need to get a hold of yourself. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So, sh- this is when shit gets like. We're gonna cover. This is a roller coaster. Hold your horses. Okay, so Xiaoyu starts bleeding, and I guess the gestational sac burst, and like Xiaoyu might die. And Huayang does not take this well. Huayang, worst parent of all time. This is where we begin to see it. But he goes to Wenlong. He's like, "You have to raise Peanut." And Wenlong's like, "Why the fuck would I raise? What are you talking about? Like, you raise Peanut. He's your kid." And Huayang's like, "No, if Xiaoyu dies, I'm killing myself." Like, he's like, the kid can live because half the blood's Xiaoyu, but otherwise, like, I'm gonna kill myself, and you have to take care of the kid. And and like, Wenlong's like, "You don't care about your child?" He's like, "No,
He
I
says
only
he
care about
does
Xiaoyu."
because Xiaoyu would be disappointed if he didn't.
And yes, yeah, not because he cares, because he thinks he should care. It's like, it's so insane.
Hwa-young only cares about Xiaoyu. That's it. Period.
Yeah,
End of story.
no, dude, so nuts. I think it is so funny though that he he goes to Wenlong. He's like, "You have to take care of my kid," and Wenlong's like,
What?
"No, I'm not doing that." So, okay, how would you like a 3-year time jump?
With like 10 minutes of show left.
10 minutes show left, and the last thing we left on, maybe they're dead and the baby's dead and everyone's dead. Well, just kidding. Wenlong is babysitting Peanut, and Peanut's like a freaking toddler now. And because Xiaoyu and Huayang, they're on like a honeymoon, a belated honeymoon in Europe, so I guess they're just fine. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
if we ever really find out what happened with that medical incident, but I guess
Nope.
they're just okay. Like, everyone
Yeah.
survived. I don't know, unless this is like a dream.
That would have been so fucked up.
Yeah.
I will say I do love that we get this 3-year jump and then it just went long in the baby. Because then it's
Yes.
like everyone's like, wait, they're dead? And then they're
Whose baby?
on their honeymoon. Right? Like
Yeah.
there's so much where it's like, is it Peanut? Is it like what's happening?
I know. I did think that was kind of funny too, but yeah, he's just like the uncle who's just watching the kid. So everything's good. And they go to like this playground, and oh my god, you'll never believe it. Gaoto and his baby are there too. And so Wenlong runs to hug him, and that's
it.
literally that's all the closure we get on that couple, which makes me so mad because they were the couple I was like more invested in.
Yeah.
They got done dirty.
Yeah, this is absolutely where the show started getting the most hate because
Yeah.
we like honestly we spent so much time learning about Wenlong and Gaoto. Like for being a side couple, they had a significant amount of screen time. Especially we learned like Gaoto's like struggles with like his pheromone disorder and all this. And we skip all of that with like his supposedly difficult pregnancy and all of that and whatever. And then you don't even get a real reunion. You get the hug equivalent of a fish kiss.
Yeah. It's like
Right?
there's no closure at all.
No, there's not. I would love a bonus episode just to get some proper closure on them. Right?
Yeah,
Because
I would love for them to have their own like special.
right? Because we don't have much left, but we have pretty good closure of what's going on with Xiaoyu, Huayang, and Peanut, whatever. And even Wenlong's
Like, we know
relationship
where
to
their
that.
story goes.
Yeah. I will say the three of them and the kid, the dynamic is so weird. So Xiaoyu is like daddy, right? And then Wenlong is like daddy Wenlong. And then Huayang is just Huayang. That's how Peanut calls them.
Dude, yeah, Huayang, just a terrible father. Like, he just like does not care about the kid. And
Yeah.
the kid knows that. Like, and the kid and they're just arguing even though the kid's like 3. It's like they do that thing in shows where they like age up the child.
Yeah, I mean we got a
And it's
3-year
like
time
weird.
gap, so like it makes sense. But like also like the way the two argue in any scene they're together.
Mm,
There's 10 minutes of show left, and anytime they're in the same room together, those two are arguing, and it's like, Hwa-young, you're a fucking parent. Get your shit together.
I know he's not good at that, but
No.
yeah. And Xiaoyo like maybe is pregnant again. Just kidding, he's not. And Hwa-young is like, thank God, I'm too traumatized and I don't want any more kids.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's literally how the show ends.
This the ending of the show is the biggest what the fuck moment like of all time. Like it's so just when we it the whiplash from when the like supposed miscarriage starts to like the next 4 minutes where we're like, what? Huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll say when the doctor was like the
What happened?
gestational sac like burst and whatever, and Xiaoyo like is like things are going wrong with this pregnancy. I'm like, was he far enough along to like give birth? Like, what's the
Yeah.
deal? Because like I feel like there were some time skips, like shorter ones in the show, and you don't really see that well. Like you see it a little bit, I think, where
Mm-hmm.
they show that like the season changed, but like that doesn't tell you exactly how much time passed. So it's like I don't know what's happening here with this pregnancy. And I think part of that was because they didn't want to actually show the pregnancy belly and stuff like that. But like,
Okay. I was just gonna say I wanted baby bump. I think they're
yes,
kind of cowards for not showing us a single baby bump. They just
right?
skipped. They fast forwarded the whole pregnancy. It's like when Dan and Phil reference, but when they had Dab and Evan do mpreg, and it went from there like they're like, should we do it? And they're like, okay, here's your baby. And then Dan and Phil were like,
Yeah.
oh, I thought we'd get like some time with them being pregnant. It's just
Mm-hmm.
like
Nope. Gonna
you're
skip that.
pregnant to here's baby. Actually, here's toddler.
Right?
So
Yeah. We at least an hour and a half show instead of an hour show at a minimum,
yeah.
because first off, Wenlong and Gaotou deserved an actual closure. Like to see, do they reconnect? Because
Yes.
I guess we're led
Mm-hmm.
to assume that they're gonna reconnect here and things are gonna be hunky dory for them. But
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't know. Like, I would like to see that played out and not just implied with a
Yeah.
shitty hug.
And we spent the last like 2 episodes of 2 to 3 episodes of the show with those two characters, like with especially Gauto ignoring Wenlong. Like I
Mm.
don't like the last couple episodes we've just spent with them like having zero relationship
Yeah.
to having no relationship to like seeing each other, and it's like I don't really that doesn't feel like a good
No.
ending for them. Like I it's not good for their relation, like I don't know, for their fans. We want
Yeah.
like it's not enough.
No,
It's
it's not.
sad.
Yeah, and it's definitely frustrating because
Mm-hmm.
like I want to know how's Wenlong with his kid that he hasn't gotten to meet. Like, he's got to figure that out. Honestly, the
Mm-hmm.
way he treats Peanut, I think he's going to be a great dad to this kid, but like is Gaoto going to
Yeah,
let him?
I think so too.
You know? Because
Yeah.
if I was Gato, I'd be hesitant as fuck about all of this. You know,
Yeah.
like it's been 3 years. It seems like he's got his life together. He looked healthy, right? So like,
Mm-hmm.
but also, why is he back? Like he was gone. Like he moved out of town. Why is he back? There's too many
Yeah.
questions, and it's not even like nice to know things. It's like a lot of this is so core to like their story arc that they literally just
Mm-hmm.
left us on a cliffhanger, basically.
Yeah, like for the just for the amount that the last 2 3 episodes that they didn't interact and they didn't have anything to do with each other, I expected a lot more of a reunion at the end. Like
Yeah.
you can't just give me nothing and then give me nothing. You if you're gonna give me nothing, then you have to give me like big finale to wrap it up.
Right? Because it's not even just that they didn't interact or whatever. Like we saw so much of them both coping with all of that, right? Like Gaotou like figuring his shit out
Mm-hmm.
and getting out and whatever. But also we spent so much time with Wenlong like processing that he has feelings and now Gauto's gone, and like him crashing out so bad he ends up in the hospital. Right? So
Mm-hmm.
it's like they were having at least Wenlong was having very strong emotions, and then we just get a half-assed hug. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
Because
I
like
know. I don't even think Gaucho says anything.
no, he just stands there, right? In
Yeah.
shock, which is valid, right? Like I
Yeah.
think his reaction makes sense, but like to Ghost nothing, because the next thing is Wenlong's got a kid. Like if I'm Gauto, I'm like, holy shit, he got a kid, right? Like that's a
Yeah.
whole different can of worms too. Then where it's like, no, 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 this is Hua Young's kid, right? Like you have to have that whole
Mm-hmm.
conversation, and then it's
Yeah.
like, you and Hua Young had a kid? No, 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 we didn't have a kid. This Hua Young and Xiao Yu's fucking kid, right? Whatever.
Yeah.
You
I'm
have
the
that
uncle.
whole, yeah. I'm the uncle. Don't mind the fact that he calls me Daddy Wenlong. Um, Hua
Yes.
Young's a terrible dad. It's like there's a whole lot of discussion that needs to happen between those two, and even if we don't see all of it, see enough of it to be able to fill those gaps in, more than just assuming the hug means that they're gonna get there happily ever after.
Yeah. It's really a disservice, like, to the characters and their story and their relationship.
It is. This whole like last
So
half of this whole episode was just a little much. Like, I
it
don't have a
was.
problem
It
with the
didn't.
story. I have a problem with how it was written.
Yeah. I don't understand why they needed the miscarriage thing too. That literally happened for like 1 second,
Yeah.
and also doesn't make sense. So I don't know.
I think it was just to show Hua Young freak out and threaten to
I
kill himself,
guess.
I guess.
I
Um
guess.
but yeah, I don't know. I really love the show. Regardless, I think the show is a lot of fun to watch. Um
I did. I really enjoyed watching it as well. It was very interesting,
mhm.
but I liked it.
Yeah, it was fun to watch. I had a good time. I had a good time rewatching it because I would skip a lot
uh
because I was just trying to write notes, but at the same time, I would like stop and get sucked into like scenes where I'm like, oh yeah, I had a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this scene.
yeah,
Let me
yeah.
watch it again.
Yeah.
Um,
No, and I mean major props to them for doing like proper omegaverse. Like I
mhm.
think the only thing they really shied away from was the pregnant belly, like
Yeah,
the actual pregnancy, but everything else I was like, damn, they're really like, let's okay, you're in heat right now. Let's go for it.
yeah, and I thought there was a lot that was interesting that was kind of mentioned more in passing than anything. A lot of times, like it was very clear there was a lot of laws passed because of the ABO universe becoming a thing. So like there's like the Omega like
Mhm.
protection laws and whatever, and like whatever hate crime laws there were, because that's like when Gauto asked about like what Wenlong would do if his Omega got pregnant or whatever,
Mhm.
and he was like really hateful again and whatever, and that's where Gauto was like, look, you're breaking this like whatever hate crime law against Omega protection, whatever he called it,
Mhm.
right? Like this is kind of bullshit. You got to knock that shit out. Um, so there's a lot of stuff like that, and I feel like it's maybe implied that they get like vacation leave for like their rut and heat type of a situation. Like they have to plan
Mhm.
accordingly because like um, Gauto is definitely using like his PTO for that. But like it's one of those. It's a
Mhm.
reminder that if men had periods, we'd get vacation time for it. Um,
Yes, right.
stings a little bit, but
It
Um,
does.
but the it's definitely interesting to see the parallels to like what being a woman is now, but taking like
Mm.
the male female part of it out of it, and it's kind of like the same way we talk about
Yeah.
like watching BL, for a lot of like straight women or whatever, is you take that power dynamic out when it's two dudes, or even GL if it's two women.
Mhm.
There's not a power dynamic anymore, so it's more even ground.
Yeah.
And that's
I
basically
think
what
it's yeah,
Omegaverse
it's
does.
definitely a mhm.
So
It's like the exploration of gender. Like you take gender and you just like queer it and like
mhm.
just I don't know. I think it's like it's really cool
Yeah.
and I respect it for sure. And
Mhm.
I just like things that are horny and Omegaverse is so horny.
Yes. Um But yeah, it definitely opens up a lot of interesting dynamics. Like the random cousin that appeared for no reason a few times where he was
Uh,
the omega and like the wife was the alpha, and like that's a whole like shift on things. And um
mm-hmm. Love
that
to see more of that.
right, that's where I was looking up something else earlier today, and I got accidentally into some like diagrams of like how that would work. And I was like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay, that makes sense. Sort of,
Yeah.
as much as Omegaverse can. Um,
Yeah.
so, but yeah, it's definitely interesting. I don't know that I would go out of my way to like read Omegaverse or like
Mm-hmm.
watch like anime or whatever, something out there. We do have the Thai one coming out, the one with was it Boat and Oat? The Knot.
Yes. I forgot about that. Oh, yeah, we didn't
So
get any nodding in this show.
no, that was the only thing.
Well,
Yeah,
maybe there was some, but we didn't really
it
talk
wasn't
about it.
discussed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which clearly it's gonna be in that one. I guess we'll have to cover
Yeah.
that one when it comes out.
Probably, yeah. I'm with you. I don't like it's not something that like gets me going, but like especially for like fan fictions, like if one sounds interesting and it's like a megaverse, like that's not gonna put me
Yeah,
off. Like I'll still enjoy
yeah,
it.
yeah. I won't avoid it, but I won't like go out of my way
Mm-hmm.
for it. It just if it's there,
Yeah,
it's there. Um,
yeah,
unless
yeah.
it's
And
live
I have
action.
respect. Live action.
Yeah,
If it's live action, I'm for sure there.
yeah. Just mostly because I'm nosy. Um,
Yeah,
this is how I ended up here to begin with. This is all Pit Babe's fault. Um,
this is Pip Babe's fault. Love you, Pip Babe.
yep. Maybe I'll finish season 2 one day.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah. So, you guys should tell us what you think of the show if you watched it. If you didn't and
Mm-hmm.
you sat through this, I'm kind of impressed. Um,
Yeah. I'd be impressed if you understood what the heck was happening.
yeah. So, but next week is season finale. Um, but we'll be gone, but not permanently, so no worries.
Mm-hmm.
Um, definitely start to think if there's any shows you want us to cover or anything. Feel free to shoot us a message in the comments or in a DM or something like that. Um,
Yes.
'Cause we're always looking for new recommendations. We already have a list started for next season, but plenty of slots to fill.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then in the meantime, of course, you can always check out our merch store at blintheair-shop.fourthwall.com. And you can find us on our socials and all the usual spots on Instagram and TikTok at bl.in.the.air. Twitter is just BL in the air. Discord is the invite is in our link tree. And then you can watch us on Spotify and YouTube. And don't forget to rate us on Spotify if you're listening there. Or you can listen wherever you currently are. Bye.
Yes. Bye.